Hi YouTube! What's up? This is gonna be on my milkjamjunk channel. And wow, I can't believe it. It's 2013 already, and to be honest, I don't feel like 2012 was a whole year. I don't know, I realized a long time ago, obviously, but the older you get, the quicker time goes, because it just seems less and less significant, the longer life experience you've had. Like when I was 5, a year seemed like it was forever. But now it's just like bam, 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 bam. But anyway, I was just thinking about, I don't know, like how things have changed so quickly. Like, what is it? The other day, or a couple weeks ago, I bought, I'm like yanking it out. I bought this tiny little hard drive. It weighs, it's just tiny, and it's a terabyte. And I'm like, wow. I remember when I was a teenager, like fantasizing about terabytes and like how maybe one day they'd be a reality. And I remember the first desktops that had like these terabyte hard drives. It was years and years ago, and they were monstrous. And then let's see if I can pull it off my shelf. If it's not rooted there, but then there's this thing, which is 120 gigs, which I bought about 5 years ago. Only 5 years ago, yeah. So I don't know. Technology has been getting faster and faster and crazier, like as time goes on. And I think one of the big like differences for me this year in basically just gaming lifestyle is the fact that I finally bought a wireless router for my home use, and I hooked up my PlayStation 3 to it. Like, I used to have my, or I not used to, but I still I've had my Wii hooked up to the net for years, but it just it wasn't the expansive world that PlayStation Network is. Not really was, but now is. Like, you can download movies and games, and like the other day I went to this store in Akihabara because they sell Region 1 games, because I have an American PS3, I don't have a Japanese one, and I have to go to a special store to get these games. But they're cheaper if you just download them. But I was also thinking, it was like, well, my hard drive is pretty limited, and downloading entire PS3 games is still kind of sketchy unless I expand my hard drive. Blah, 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 blah. But anyway, it brings me back to my childhood when I guess a lot of my nerdiness really started. Like, I remember my mom always used to drag me around shopping, because that's what happens when you're a kid. You get dragged around places where your parents go. And we always went to the video store to get a video, because I remember one of my first memories is like when my family got a VCR, and or even the time that my family got its first camcorder, one of those big ass VHS camcorders. Of course, I mean, I wasn't alive for the ones before, well, kind of, but not in a state what I remember. I was a baby back then, but I remember when my parents, I don't even want to think about how expensive that thing was, like VHS camcorder, at the point where VCRs were just becoming popular. But like, I remember we'd like load it in the top and like pop it down and just like play the thing. And it even reminds me, it was really funny, like everybody uses DVDs and Blu-rays now. Like, I wonder if kids these days even have the concept of Be Kind, Rewind, because that was always a huge thing. Because if you pop the tape in and it's halfway through the movie, you could spoil something, and you're like, grrr! Or like when you can't scan through a DVD or a Blu-ray now, and those little lines pop up when you're like, grrr, you're going through the if it's still playing and you're fast forward or rewinding or something. Like, I always loved that kind of stuff. But anyway, we always went to the video store, and I remember just, it's actually going to those stores is how I really got into horror movies. Like, as you can see, yeah, like, zombie lives. And what was this say? Punks are dead? I don't know. But, like, I used to get obsessed with these movie covers because I always liked the fronts of these packages, like, because I thought that the cover art was just so cool. You know, like the girl hiding the knife behind her back, or like the crazy monsters on the cover, or like the vampires, or the werewolves and stuff like that. It was just so cool. And of course I'd be like, Mom, like I want to rent this, and she's like, No, you're not. You know, you're too young. But the thing is, that did not last long because my mom likes horror movies, and I used to watch them with her. So, like, I kind of got desensitized to that kind of stuff really quickly. I do remember, like, we rented Indiana Jones in the which one? Last Crusade, where the guy drinks from the wrong chalice. Oh, what the hell is it called? Yeah, the wrong grail, and his face melts off. And I remember my mom, like, tried to cover my eyes, and I was like, No! And I was like, this is so awesome. I love that kind of stuff. Like, I don't like modern horror movies so much. Like, I love the kind of horror movies they made when I was a kid, and maybe a little bit before I was born, with like the claymation and all the really, just the great makeup. And there's nothing I love more than like horror makeup. It's so great. And because of that kind of stuff, like, I just got hooked on horror movies. And I remember, like, as a kid, like, I was obsessed with this series of movies. They were really stupid, but it was called Critters, and like there's like 5 or 6 of them. I've seen them all, but like the one I remember the most were the first 2. But it's basically the premise of the movie was like these critters were like these little fuzzy balls, but they were aliens, and they came from another planet to eat everything, and they were like, they're eating livestock, and they're like, oh no, it's gonna eat the people. And then there was like these faceless bounty hunters chasing them for some reason. And it came up because when I was in 2nd grade, we had to, when you're a kid, you're in school, and you like write your little self-published books and stuff, and we had to write like a Christmas story. So I wrote a Christmas story about critters. It's a critter family Christmas, and I illustrated the whole thing, and I was like, the critter family is on the critter planet, and they're having Christmas, and like they ate all the turkey. And in fact, you don't even want to know how much turkey they ate, because they're critters, and critters eat a lot. Like, that's what they do. And I can't imagine like what my 2nd grade teacher was probably thinking. Like, actually, she's probably thinking kids are all weird, whatever, because kids are weird. They just are. Kids are weird. That's what's kind of funny about them. But and even for kids being weird, I was a weird kid. But I don't know. I just wanted to like reminisce on that because I just love that kind of stuff. There's nothing better than like watching old horror movies. Like I was really disappointed when the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street came out a couple years ago, and then they just laid the entire plot out like, this is what happened, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, you're not supposed to tell stories that way. You're supposed to leave them up to the viewer to try to figure out after the fact, or like figure it out without spelling everything out, guys. Like, yeah. I mean, that's why Silent Hill was originally such a great game, god damn it. But, yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, do you guys have any great memories of when you were a child and some crazy media that you loved? Or, I don't know, when you rented games or rented videos? Cool. I'm just gonna stop this here because I just like brain fart. So, alright, that's all. Bye.